Hello, it's Sideshow with two of my favorite individuals in the world. I'm paid by the Guangzhou charge, obviously. So, of course, I have to do a little podcast interview thing with them. It's Nero and neptuNo. First of all, I got to ask, where in the hell are you and what's been going on recently? Because I feel like a lot of people in the West just don't really understand anything about travel during COVID, like being in Korea and like the visa situation and quarantine and stuff like that, whereas you guys have all lived it. So, like, where are you right now? What is this room that you're in?
We're in a hotel right now, actually, a hotel conference room, but it's actually pretty nice. What I've heard, it's better than like the other teams that are here. They're playing in like apartments, but we're playing in like a decently sized room, and we all have our own rooms and stuff. But they have to like share rooms with each other, and they play in like a smaller practice room. So
Nice.
what I've heard is ours is
Okay.
better.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So what? Each of you in the team has a room in the hotel, and then you meet in a kind of conference area to play together.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We share the rooms. Like me and Nero, we share, and everyone has like a double room.
Yeah. What's the experience been like recently with travel and quarantine and stuff like that? I saw that you didn't play last week. And I think you tweeted something about it, Nero, where you're like, "Oh, I didn't get an opportunity to play last week." Like, what's going on with that kind of stuff?
So basically, I didn't play Overwatch for like 2 or 3 weeks because of quarantine, and like I wanted to take a break when I went home and just spend time with my family. And when I came back, like I was not good. I was pretty bad, but I didn't get a chance to play in scrims anyway, so I didn't really know. But the coaches just thought it was best if I just sat that week out and just let the other DPS players just play. So
Right. Did you go home as
Yeah.
well, neptuNo?
Yeah, I had to go home because I came as a tourist when everything happened in China. So my 90 days here expired, so I had to go back and get an actual visa to come here. And it took so long that I've been in Spain like for like 40 or 5 days, and then I had to stay here in quarantine for 14 days. So I've been out 2 months. I haven't even played with the team. I haven't played Overwatch in 3 weeks. And the same, to me, it happened the same. Like when I came here, like 3 days ago, like the team was playing when I came. When I came, they were playing 2 hours. So of course I'm not gonna play. And also I'm bad right now. Like I haven't played the game.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing rank, and I'm the first 5 games I was literally feeding like a bot. But now I'm improving, so I guess we have to earn our spot back, which is kind of annoying that everything is happening because of the virus and it's out of our hands, and that sucks. But it is what it is.
Yeah. It must have been nice though being able to have like an opportunity to go back home, because a lot of people, I know that some of the Korean players that were over in North America used this opportunity to go back over to Korea and see some people as well. But I mean, with all the stuff going on, it must have been nice to be able to get back over there, even if it was for visa reasons.
Yeah, I mean Spain is also in a shit situation, so it wasn't that nice. It
Mm.
was kind of okay, but like to be honest, like it was for me. It happened when I was playing my best with the team and we were improving. It was like in the week 4, and then the team had to start over again when I left, and I also like lost my momentum with the team. So it was kind of unfortunate to me, the timing.
And you went back to the US, Nero?
I only stayed at home for 1 day.
Oh,
Literally 1 day.
1 day?
Yeah, I flew. Okay, so it's stupid, but when you enter the United States, your visa resets or something like that. It resets, so I could literally fly there, fly back same time. But I wanted to see my family and stuff.
Right.
I also had to spend my birthday in quarantine, which is unfortunate.
Oh, that's nasty. What is the quarantine situation actually like? Because I think when a lot of people hear the word quarantine, they imagine that you're just like in a, I don't know, like a solitary confinement in a prison or something.
Basically.
It is. It is worse than a prison. They're like you can't do anything.
Yeah, in prison you at least get to go outside. We had to stay in a hotel room for 14 days, and like
With shit Wi-Fi.
yeah, I only had my phone, but he had his fucking computer, so
Yeah, I had my computer and I could play some World of Warcraft, but I was like losing my mind because I would lose track of time, and I was so bored that couldn't help but falling asleep any random time. So my schedule was like fucked up all over the place, and I was just like, what am I doing, dude? Like I would like literally, I had like a small hallway, and I would like walk to do something, to move my ass.
Yeah.
And I would like jump and do jump things. I don't know.
You doing exercises?
Yeah, I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Because,
Is your body all nice and muscly and toned now after
No.
after quarantine?
I
No,
lost
it's
weight.
not.
I think I lost like 2 or 3 kilos on the quarantine because the food was cold and I didn't like it. So I remember in the morning they would give us sometimes cold fries. Like literally, like they've been out for like a day. I wouldn't eat that. I would just eat like the banana or something they give with the meal, and
So
move on to the next.
So let me get this right though. This is a necessary quarantine for all. I think it's all like foreign people coming into the country because Korean nationals can do like their quarantine at home inside their own homes, right?
Yeah, but I have to add that if you are gonna stay here more than 3 months, then you can do quarantine in your apartment or other
Oh,
place.
I see. Right.
But I had 3 months exactly, so I couldn't do it.
Oh, that sucks. But but you managed to sneak your PC in, whereas Nero wasn't able to. Like how?
No, it's just a laptop.
Oh, right. It was just a laptop that you had with you, right?
Yeah.
Nero doesn't travel with his desktop PC strapped to his back.
I had a MacBook, but I couldn't do anything on that.
Yeah. Not a World of Warcraft player.
I leveled to 60, this is on classic. I was fucking bored.
Oh, I played Hearthstone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, literally like 10 hours a day.
The quarantine situation is so weird for other people as well to imagine, I think. But it's got to be kind of rough for you guys, especially because it just cuts into the break that you actually have. Has it been very stressful being away from your home countries during the pandemic? I mean, like, how have you guys been coping mentally? Because I know that when I've been cooped up in my apartment, it's been just frustrating for me. I've just been stuck inside, even surrounded by my creature comforts, with my girlfriend, with my cat. Like that's bad enough, but being separated from your family by time zones and by a large amount of distance, and then in a foreign country must be additional as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the same, but at the same time, it is hard. Like normally, we're just gamers. We sit inside all day. We're nerds. We just play games. We don't really go outside much. But now we can't go outside, so it's different. Like,
Yeah, we lose our freedom.
yeah, there's just something about going outside now that just hits different after quarantine. Like,
Dear.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like we're not allowed to go outside, but it is hard. But it's not as hard as people make it out to be, I feel like.
You've been able to still just kind of carry on your... I mean, it's a totally different situation over in Korea anyway, because they've handled it much better. But yeah, I mean, when it was all at its absolute peak and the Guangzhou charge didn't even know where you guys were going to be placed, that seems like it would have been a pretty stressful time to be kind of traveling around the place, traveling around the globe.
I feel like our team did it really good. Like we moved instantly from the hotel we were in China, and where we had all PCs, and we moved instantly here, and we had computers in one day, and everything set up, like literally in one day. So for us, I don't think it was that bad. It's just annoying that like the whole situation like is really boring as a whole. But I think we're fine. In that aspect, we're fine. I think the worst part has been the actual quarantine that we had to do when we had to come back. Everything else is fine for us, at least for me.
That's pretty good. Do you feel like you missed out somewhat this year? I know that I have a sense that of almost like the promise of 2020 being traveling around the world and the homestands and being on stage and stuff like that. I feel like I was robbed of that to some extent, you know, and instead I'm just in my apartment. It's even more indoors than the previous years where we were all in the Blizzard arena. Do you ever think about what could have been in 2020?
Yeah, I think about that. I think about that too often, actually, because the facility that we have in China is actually insane, and like the home stands would have been so crazy, like playing in front of the home crowds and stuff, and like playing online is so boring compared to it. It's like I'm playing in contenders again. It's like it feels like it has no feeling or like no meaning sometimes. Like not comparable.
Yeah. Like you don't have the same rush when you're playing on stage. Like I love just going to stage because it makes you play better. Like people on stage plays out of their mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Is
This
it?
year is just GG go next actually.
Yeah.
Just wrap this year.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, this.
It doesn't matter. Whoever wins Overwatch League doesn't matter.
That's online.
It doesn't
anyways.
count.
Okay, we'll see if you say the same thing if the Guangzhou Charge end up winning the Overwatch League.
If we win, it would matter.
See, do you think that
Wait a
it's? Do you think it's difficult for players to be able to keep their motivation high when everything's online, or does it just motivate you to like get through to the next year?
Okay,
It helps you.
Me personally, I did lose motivation, but it was multiple reasons. It was just like I was getting burnt out from the game because like it's like the only thing we can do. Like we can't go outside and we like live where we work. Like it's we live in the hotel and we play in the hotel. So it's like really stressful sometimes because it's like if we play bad in scrims or if we like lose a match, it's like I want to play the game more. But then at the same time it's like doing more bad than good if I play the game more. So it's just a rough situation overall.
What about you, neptuNo?
I mean, same. Like not being able, like, especially when things go wrong or like you just want to break, like you don't have anywhere to go. We're two Western people in Korea. We don't speak Korean. He speaks some Korean. I don't. So I don't know anything. I don't have anything to do. So pretty much in the computer all day. And if things go wrong, I have to be here. So I don't have time for myself. That's a bit annoying, but I'm kinda used to it from Fusion because we were all in the same house and I only had my room, but I don't know. It's just like we have to deal with it.
Yeah, I suppose so. The situation for you though, Nero, did you find that like taking a break and sitting back for a bit helped? Is it a good thing to take a bit of a rest and like look at your team from the outside and help you build that motivation up again?
Yeah, it was a really good break for me. Like my mental was really weak, I'd say, going into like almost the start of the May final. What is it called?
The May Melee.
Yeah, May Melee, whatever.
Yeah.
That shit. The playoffs the week before going into that, like I feel like my mental was pretty weak. But after I took the break, I feel like it really helped me, and like I felt really refreshed. Just like coming back, like after a week of not playing Overwatch, it felt like fresh, and it was unfortunate. I feel like we only lost to Seoul because of like a coin flip on the last map, like comp wise. But
yeah, that was a really close game.
Yeah, shit happens.
Do you think that the tournament system is an added motivator? Like, were you more excited to get back into that week because it was tournament week rather than just regular season games?
Yeah, it felt like extra motivation because it felt like it actually meant something, even though we were only playing for money. But like, it felt more important. Huh?
Prestige.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know.
But you're playing to show that you're the best.
Yeah, and there's definitely more viewership during the playoffs than there were during the regular season.
Yeah,
especially for
like if you lose, you get knocked out. That's actually extra motivation always.
Yeah, elimination games I always love casting just because it feels like there's always more on the line.
Yeah, when you play a regular game, like man, like people can actually like carry the tilt and just lose the third map. But on elimination game, people actually try hard every single second, way more.
Yeah,
like all or nothing.
Yeah. During the May Melee, then you went up against the Seoul Dynasty. I just want to touch on this for a second because that match was great. But Seoul are just such a weird team. They're just monstrously strange in the way that they play. They seem like they like to throw things away. They play weird comps. They seemed like they were only good at double shield at the beginning. What's it like playing against a team like Seoul?
That match was so annoying because we know how they play. Like, they only play one style. They just send fucking Marvel on the big dick flank just every fight. And we know that if we just punish him, we win. But like, we allowed it, so it's super frustrating playing against that team sometimes if you don't synergize correctly. But if you do synergize correctly, it's such an easy team to beat. Like, it's actually crazy. Like I said before, I think we only lost that match on Busan because of comps. Like, we were supposed to play one comp, but then we messed up and we played Moira instead of BAP, and then we just lost to like the mid fight. And then the last map we just had a worse comp than them and we didn't switch.
What's it like losing in 5 to the Seoul Dynasty and then watching them get reverse swept in the finals as well?
I honestly wanted them to win. I really wanted them to win because it would have felt better for us. Because we lost to them, it would have felt better if they beat Shanghai.
And also Shanghai always winning, so
yeah, it's honestly annoying at this point. It's like
annoying. It's annoying.
So,
it's really...
what do you feel like? How do you feel like you guys would have been able to perform if you made it to the finals? Because Seoul were they like 3-0 and then they lose 4 in a row. So it's not like they had a consistent performance throughout the match. They seemed like they couldn't really handle Shanghai diving as soon as Fearless came in, played a bunch of Winston.
So, okay, here's my opinion on Shanghai. I think like they're disgusting in scrims, but they play different in matches. Like they're beatable in matches, but they're not beatable in scrims.
Really?
They
Right, today what? No, we didn't beat. I only played one map today against Shanghai.
Okay.
And I beat. I think it's the first map I ever win to Shanghai.
yeah, we played Junkertown, and that was the first map me and neptuNo have ever beat Shanghai in a scrim before.
Really?
I mean, I don't know if it's the first map ever, but
we're joking.
I think we're joking, but it's definitely the team that when we play screens, it feels like if we lose or we get stomped, it's Shanghai or it's supposed to happen. Like
right.
They do it. It's the only team that I felt this year that they're just way ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's happy.
I mean, Shanghai look like an absolute beast of a team, but we only see them in matches. We haven't seen them in scrims. So if you say they look beatable in matches, that's kind of blown my mind. Like, what do you mean there? Like, what's the actual difference?
Like maybe in scrims they're just toying with you. Like we're food.
I think they get nervous in matches, and I think
I don't think they get that nervous. Maybe at the beginning, the first match they played, they didn't play that good because on screens we always felt like they were way stronger. But let's not talk more about Shanghai, dude. We all know they're fucking good.
Do you think that they are better than the Shock?
I feel like
I think that's probably the best match to watch right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if it was like a really important match, I think Shanghai would choke.
He's streaming.
He's not streaming. He's recording.
Recording, same.
I feel like if it was like, okay, so Shanghai lost 3 maps in a row, and then they just like said fuck it and just like played their normal game.
He's laughing at your head.
He's laughing at my bald head.
He said you're handsome.
Mind your manners or I'll shave your head as well.
Dude, if I shave my head, I will look so bad.
Me too, I have a big ass forehead.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, join the club. I got a big ass forehead and curly hair as well. I could just never grow a fringe properly to be able to hide it. That's the key.
You should like shave your eyebrows again.
No, that's a very bad idea.
Now.
Terrible idea. So, but how do you think that the Shanghai Dragons are chokers if they managed to, like, they didn't choke in the May Melee finals, they just won 4 in a row?
Okay,
not chokers. They just give you some chance.
I don't know, like, they're not chokers, but I feel like they're not as good as they could be if they were, like, played at full potential all the time.
Right.
Like,
yeah, well, I think they're saying that they can play better.
Yeah, like, they're really good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like sometimes they're not as good as they could be. Like, I feel like we weren't that good at the beginning of this season. Like when we played them, like we got 3 out every time, obviously. But some of the maps were like really, really close, and I feel like we weren't good at that time. And like matches
Right.
shouldn't have been close, but they were. They really were.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's more of a testament on them than it is on us.
I saw, I think it was you, Nero, tweeting about Void and saying that you didn't realize how good Sigma could be until you played against Void. It was something like that, I think, that you tweeted.
Him, Void and Gargoyle. When we were playing Mayhem on the off season here, Mayhem was the only team that, the first team that the Sigma was like literally big dick in us.
Yeah, but just behind
Gargoyle
us
was
the entire map.
yeah, he was pushing our backline from behind in every map, and like, what the fuck is this? And then we realized that Mayhem was actually a crazy good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we knew in the off season. People know now. That's the difference.
Yeah, Void is just insane. He's crazy. I'd say he's probably top 2 off tank in the league. I'd say right now.
I watch his POV sometimes when I spectate. I put Void sometimes, and he's just like hyperactive. He's just aware of everything.
Dude's on crack, actually. Like,
he's fucking crack.
If you watch his
He's on drugs.
POV, he's like moving his fucking mouse around and shit all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, really good awareness and mechanics. So,
Do you think he's like the reason that Shanghai are so good? I mean, they've got a stacked roster, but like, what is the reason?
all of them.
He's not the only reason, but I'd say he's up there. I'd say their tank line is really strong.
And Isayaki.
Yeah, Izyaki's really good too.
Isayaki is fucking.
Dude, they're all
really
good. Dude,
Yeah,
dude, it pisses me off watching Lee Jae-gon
like
sometimes.
Lee Jae-gon can literally do whatever the fuck he wants. He could literally just not peel for any of his teammates. Just go fragging out. Just suicide, kill 3 guys. Anything. Like, it doesn't matter. They stomp you, and you get tilted because you see that Lucio doing stupid shit, but it works. You know?
Yeah, dude's literally. I remember I was playing Sombra one time, and dude's literally camping my TP for 90% of a control map. I TP back, and he's just sitting there. And he's...
Yeah, I mean, he's fun to play against because he would like go for plays. He would like boop 3 guys, and then the next 2 times he just dies in our face, but they still win because I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah,
he is really good.
Yeah, he seems like he's incredibly skilled, but he just makes high risk, high reward plays all the time.
I think he's just literally having fun. He's just having a great time. Literally, he just plays on rank. You know, like, let's stomp some noobs.
Yeah. All right. Well, the other part to all of this, as well as the tournament system, is the hero pools stuff that's been going on this year, because that's brand new. Wasn't even introduced at the beginning of the season. It kind of came in. I don't even know when it was, like week 7 or something like that. What's your experience been like with hero pools from a player's point of view? Some people have said that they enjoy being able to play a lot of different stuff. You know, they're not stuck in May jail constantly. But a lot of people as well have found it just way more stressful to be able to scrim and play a bunch of different styles. Have you enjoyed the experimentation with hero pools this year?
I think so far. Wait, people don't understand that right now. If we keep doing hero pools, I think everything has figured out like all the kind of comps you can play, and everything has a good understanding of like how to play with Mei, how to play with Double Shield, how to play with Lucio Moira, how to play with Bricks and Dive. So we can understand like everything, the concept now that we've been forced to understand because of hero pools. That right now, I think like everything could play a different variety of comps. Like before, everyone was just one tricking what was broken. I feel like right now we're gonna play what's broken because we wanna win, but we are more flexible. I would say the entire league right now. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, it does seem like that, but. I mean, do you think it's been... that kind of makes it sound like hero pools is an effective teaching tool. Like it just forced people to learn different comps that they wouldn't have normally learned.
Yes. Why would you waste your time learning a comp that is not the best? Or like it's not going to give you wins?
Yeah, fair.
It's
Do you think though that like okay, so random thought experiment here. So last year when everything was goats, we did see in stage 3 teams like Shanghai and actually I think it was the LA Valiant and some of the other teams as well running triple DPS, and they were beating some of the goats teams. They were beating some of the top goats teams. And in the end, Shanghai Dragons do win with like a weird what would have been described as a very weird comp compared to the triple tank, triple support. Do you think that some of this experimentation has actually revealed comps that are good, that people wouldn't have realized are good?
yes. I don't think people would have ever played Brixen if it wasn't for Hero Pulse. No? Or like Winston Saria, that you see that shit. No one thought of that.
Yeah. And you think those are like good comps that you could potentially use outside? I mean, Briggs Zen, yeah, but like Winston Zarya, you think people will find a use for that outside of like when hero pools are?
I think it's really good against like Sigma and kind of a sniper, because your Winston just does whatever he wants and he gets nano and it's unstoppable. So I think
I think if there was no hero pools, it would just be like a one-trick comp like May Reaper or like May McCree. I don't think we would have seen like other comps like what he's saying, like Winston Zarya.
Yeah.
Or like
100%. Why would you risk it?
yeah, there's I guess Echo's in the game now. I bet every comp would have Echo.
Like people copy stuff so much. Like I remember everyone was playing Lucio Baptiste at the beginning without hero pools. And I was like to the team, we have to play Brig instead of Lucio. Let's try Brig. Brig is so broken. When she had like 75 armor. So we started playing Brig in scrims, and we would like destroy these Lucio comps. You know?
Yeah.
With the and then everyone shifts towards Brigitte in Asia, but not in NA, for example. And that's what happened. People just copy what is destroying you on scrims, or what the best team is doing.
So do you think it's been healthy for the game?
Yeah. The hero pools, yeah.
Yeah, hero pools.
You know what I disagree with? I disagree with having hero pools during the normal season, and then for last month May Melee, like there were no hero pools. That made no sense for me. Like I feel like there should have been bans if there were bans for the regular season.
I think the argument against it is that if you put bans in the tournament, then you might accidentally give some team like a huge advantage or a huge disadvantage. You want things to be kind of on an even playing field for the big games, for the playoffs. That's
true, but I feel like you know what you're gonna see if you take away hero pools, and it's kind of like stale in a way. Like you're always gonna see Orisa Sigma May, like, or Orisa Sigma Echo Ash. Like that's all that's gonna be played if there's no bans.
You think that's just going to be the same thing? The argument against that, I think, is that in the May Melee, we had like teams playing some Tracer Ash and some teams playing a lot of like Ash Echo or May Ash, which are all somewhat similar compositions. But then you also had the Shanghai Dragons just throwing Fearless in on Winston wherever they possibly could, and they ended up coming out with a win on that. So doesn't that indicate that if you're super coordinated or if your team's style favors it, that there are some other comps that you could go to outside of just poking constantly?
Yes, but not necessarily. I feel like if you're playing a team on like that's equal skill level, I'd say it wouldn't work most of the time if the other team's on like a better comp. Like if you're playing to your strengths, but the other team is just on some oppressive dumb hero like Echo, like I feel like you just have a disadvantage. And there's.
So what, you think that Shanghai just kind of skilled it in that sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think. I forget how they lost the first 3 maps. I didn't even watch the first 3. I just watched the last 4. But
Prophet played a lot of Tracer, and they were playing pretty much Orisa only with stand 1. And they actually sub DM in for map 2 as well, and they just got shit on by Prophet's Tracer.
Yeah, I bet they just like adapted to Tracer. Tracer's definitely easier to play against than Sombra, and I think that's Shanghai plays a lot of Sombra, and Lip is disgusting at that hero. So, and that hero is really oppressive if you play around her like your entire team like they do. And I think they just kind of countered Tracer because it's definitely way easier. And then they just played their game.
I want to ask you about some of the other teams in Asia, just to get your feel on them. The Hangzhou Spark recently played against your team, actually. Now, neither of you were in the match because you just got back into scrimming, but the Hangzhou Spark have just added Architect and QOQ. And when I was watching that match, it seemed like Spark were making a bunch of mistakes, but the like talent on display just seems so much higher than it did previously. Architect instead of Adora and QOQ instead of Rhea just seems to be like massive upgrades to this team. Do you think it's going to change the way that the dynamic in Asia kind of functions? I know that some people are predicting them to be like a top 2 team once they actually gel with those guys.
Maybe. I don't really know yet, honestly, because we haven't really scrimmed them much. We've only played versus them in the match, of course, because we just played versus them and we don't have.
I think they are straight up better.
Yeah,
Like
of course, they're better now.
The QOQ is fucking good.
Yeah.
And Anarchite, everyone knows he's good. And a lot of he's a way like really flexible player. So I don't know how much time it's gonna take for them, but I saw improvement when I saw them playing. Like, I'm gonna be honest, for me, Hangzhou Spark was always like one of the non-scary teams before these 2 changes. I wouldn't be scared to play against them ever. Screams for official. I think with those 2 guys now in the lineup, I think they're fucking scary. They can be really good.
You guys were going even with them at the beginning of the season, and then you pulled ahead, right? Is that kind of how it felt to you as well?
We played them like twice, and we 3-2, and then we lost 2-3. So it was kind of even. So, you know. But now I feel like, I mean, we've improved a lot.
Yeah.
But they're also improving. So that's my point.
Yeah. That's a scary situation to be in. But when I was watching that match as well, Eileen was playing Tracer, and I've never seen him play Tracer before, but he actually looked really good.
Yeah,
Eileen is fucking nasty.
Yeah, he just started playing Tracer like whenever we started scrimming, like last week or something. But the coaches definitely helped him out a lot. I feel like this meta is easier to play Tracer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just he had like one job, it was just mark Tracer, but he also like I don't think he died a single time to the Tracer or like died any stupid ways. So like he played really well for someone who's never played Tracer before.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically support Tracer. He's just enabling Happy.
Yeah.
So Happy can click heads.
Happy was also ridiculous in that match.
Sometimes the kid pops off.
Yeah. He's we were having a discussion when I was watching the match with my chat, talking about whether or not he's potentially the best Widowmaker in the world. What's your thoughts on it? What's team?
Depends on the day. When he's on, he's like Linkser, you know? Like Linkser has the same chip. Like they just go nuts and they're unstoppable.
I think he levels up on LAN. When we play on LAN matches, he's actually just cracked out of his mind. But here, sometimes he has off days, sometimes he has good days, like most of us. But I feel like if we were on stage, we'd be probably better because I think we thrive off of that, the crowd.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. How much has the game changed moving online? It's very difficult for us to be able to tell watching.
This is like playing a scrim, literally. Like we're playing a scrim.
I
don't know what that means though, neptuNo. I've never played on LAN. I don't understand the difference.
I mean, aren't you a pro player?
Yeah, this kid's a pro player.
Pro bench warmer.
Playing on LAN, you get like nervous before, you get like butterflies in your stomach, and like you can hear the crowd. But like here, it's like you just hear your teammates talking, and you're just playing the game like it's a normal scrim. So
basically, when you play on LAN, you need to use the environment around you to play better. Like it can't be against you, you know. But when you're playing here, there's nothing. So it's just like playing normal. So kind of like when you go onto stage, also the volume and the sound is way different. You can't hear the same on stage. You can't hear shit. Actually, Sombra hacks is impossible to hear.
Yeah.
Or like Diva bombs. You need to look at things. So you need to be like more crack, because if you're not looking around, you can't see shit. You can't hear anything.
Some more crap.
Yeah, when I play Mercy, I remember season 1, I was just cracked looking around like I was. My arm hurts so much after every match.
But what's the game itself like then? Is there differences in how you actually play? Like, does the ping make a difference in terms of like hidden shots and stuff? Because you were saying that Happy plays better when he's on LAN, but is that all a mental kind of thing, or is that also a physical thing in the sense that the game itself changes?
I mean, we play on like 6, 7 ping, so it's not really much of a difference.
Mm.
And
Yeah. I play main support, so I don't know.
I'd say it's mental, definitely mental. Like you have to like force yourself into the zone, and sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. It's not something that you control, I think.
All right, well, let's tackle some of the other APAC teams then as well, because the Hangzhou Spark are like, in my opinion, they're like your little brothers that are starting to punch up now as well. It's the Guangzhou Hangzhou rivalry. But then there's New York, who just came over to APAC, I guess, in order to ruin their win rate, because they could have just feasted on a bunch of Atlantic teams over in North America, and instead they came over here. But they've made a big acquisition as well. They're
gonna become better now.
What? Sorry?
They're gonna become better now.
Yeah, with Haxel, right?
No, not only with Haxel. Like playing against Dragons, playing against Apex teams.
You think that'll actually make them better, like improve them?
Yes, I think so.
Where do you see the NYXL kind of shaking out? They were such an amazing team in the first 2 seasons, but I don't know. It feels like they kind of
they lost their identity.
They can't play that same like slow play around Jonak type shit anymore. They have to actually like play as a team and not just play around one person. So it's like it's way different. Like that's what they were trying to do in Goats too. They would just pocket Jonak so hard, and that's why they would lose versus like Shock in Vancouver, because they know how to adapt to that. And I don't know what their team identity is now. It's hard to say.
I mean, if Genji's meta, they have Haxel.
Yeah, they have like 8 Genji players.
8 Genji. They should share with the rest of the league, some of them.
Yeah, we'll take who are you in Libro.
I don't know. It just feels like New York feels like weird. Like, they're good, but at the same time, like their playstyle is not that like oppressive. Like even season 1, season 2, like you play against New York, you might lose because they're better, but you don't feel the pressure you feel against Shock. Like Shock is literally you can't breathe. Like Super is just like W. Like Saria is behind you, right clicking your entire team, and Choyo being one shotting your Zenyatta at the same time. But they're not. Like Mano is holding shield. Like Jonak is just killing everyone. It feels like when I see them this year, it feels like they're trying to play more aggressive and try different stuff, but it's not working.
Do you think the slow style is dead? Do you think you have to play high tempo all the time in Overwatch now?
I think, and like some metas you can play slow, like Zenbap you can play slow, but like if Brig is unbanned, or like if it's like Lucio, anything, you have to play like Brain Dead. I feel like, or not Brain Dead, but you know what I
mean. Like Lucio and Brig, like those 2 heroes, they carry so much momentum, especially Brig. Like if your Brig gets momentum and you play around that, that's fucking broken. And I don't know, like it's hard to tell, like if they're gonna be that good again. Like New York was actually the best team season 1, right? But right now, I don't think it's hard to know if they're gonna be again that good.
I think the pickup of Haxel, I think, is really big for them, because I feel like him having that like experience of playing with like Bumper and shit in season 2, just hyper aggro. I feel like he could teach some of the players that kind of style, or like influence it.
If someone can aim with that high sense, he must be fucking insane. Like Haxel,
yeah, that's true.
Literally, like how can he aim? Like it's not like he hits shots. It's like he is fucking good. I get actually tilted when I see him playing. Like how is he hitting those shots? He's just moving his. He just moves like this.
I'm watching him play.
Literally, he does this, and he's insane.
He's literally aiming with his movement. He's not even aiming with his mouse. It's crazy.
Like, have you seen him like doing Genji plays and shit? How? No.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how he hits a single shuriken, but he hits them all constantly. It's so weird. It is so strange to see. I think the APAC region is going to be super interesting, and a lot of people always ask about the relative skill between the two regions, right? Like they're like, oh, do you think that APAC's actually better? I think there's like a couple of things to unpack there. Like, is the top level the same or better? Is the bottom level the same or better? Right? Because like you could have a region where all of the APAC teams could theoretically be worse than the Shock in Philadelphia, but better than every other team. Like that could be the case. What do you feel like it is? Like where do you feel like the ceiling of APAC is, and how tight all the teams are?
Why don't we start with the bottom, with the floor?
Okay, all right. Okay, start with the floor, neptuNo. You want to throw some shade?
I just feel like the floor here is like in the middle of NA, you know? Like, unless Chengdu does weird shit and they play like Pepega comes and they throw, when they play good, I think that's like the floor here.
I always think of Hunters as being a bit like Houston in North America, where they're like,
Yeah,
they can sometimes upset a top team, but generally they're just kind of like, okay.
they're like hard to play against because they can actually beat anyone because they play weird strats and they have really good players. But at the same time, they also like put themselves in a disadvantage so many times because they play weird strats. So it's like double-edged sword, in my opinion. And I would say that there are quite a few teams in NA that wouldn't have a chance here, like at all.
How many teams?
Let me see the Overwatch League website.
Yeah, I gotta look real quick. I'll name some. Oh, I'm not gonna name teams actually.
Why not?
Give me a second.
The bottom of the table is like Boston, Washington, Vancouver,
Actually,
Toronto,
listen,
Dallas.
I was talking shit about Boston on Twitter like a bit, but they have improved. They're improving.
Yeah?
Like that's what I've seen when I see them playing. Okay, they're 2-12, but
Have they improved
they
enough
have,
to be able to beat Chengdu?
yes.
You think they're better than Chengdu right now?
No, you said have they improved enough, enabled to beat? I said yes. They can beat
Right.
Chengdu.
Okay, they could beat Chengdu, but you don't think...
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, any given Sunday, right? Any team can beat any team in theory.
I just don't understand how is Dallas so low. Like,
Did you see that recent match?
No, yes, I saw that match, but I mean, like, when I see DK playing, I see he could potentially be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen Dallas play many some matches, and they look pretty decent. Like they've lost like so many against 2-3.
Yeah. Yeah,
in my opinion, like Toronto is above Dallas, and I felt like Toronto has been weaker than Dallas.
Yeah.
Toronto's above Dallas?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Dallas, though, Dallas started in the Pacific Division, so they played some tough games early on, and they've had a lot of close losses, yeah. But, I mean, I think that Dallas with Decay should actually be pushing for, like, to be a pretty decent team. They're right at the bottom of the standings at the moment, but if Decay actually plays, they should be good.
Yeah, dude, Valiant is so high. What do you think, huh?
What, you don't think that Valiant's a good team, though?
No, but you predicted them to be a bad team.
Yeah. No, I'm eating a humble pie on the regular when it comes to the LA Valiant. I feel like, come on though, when you saw the LA Valiant's roster, you're telling me that you looked at like Gig and McGravy and then Rain, and you were like, nope, this is gonna be a top 8 team.
I thought they would be like top 14, something like that.
Right.
But the thing is, like, they have really insane DPSs, and probably they all been grinding the game and also build up like a good synergy. Maybe the coaches have a lot of like to do with that, like,
Yeah,
because
I think
they're
do.
very disciplined.
Do you think Shax is the best tracer in the world, Nero?
Best tracer?
Yeah.
There are a lot of good tracers out there.
I'd say he's up there. I bet I'm gonna. I mean, there's a lot.
Like you have Profit.
I don't think Profit's number one right now, though. I think
No, but he's always been really good.
Yeah.
I'd say Shax he's up there. I wouldn't necessarily say number one right now. Like if he keeps popping off like how he is right now, I'd say he's number one for sure. But like until we see it consistently.
Let's say
Sure.
Silent.
Okay, Eileen.
Eileen. Yeah. Apart from Eileen. Yeah. But yeah, there's like Decay, there's Striker, there's I suppose Yaki has also been playing really well, but he's he kind of got pooed on by Shax. Yeah, Carpe, of course.
Yeah, he did get pooed on by Shax. I saw that.
Carpe is pretty good.
Carpe is pretty good. Yeah, neptuNo.
Yeah.
You've been carried by Carpe many times.
No, I was actually carrying him.
Okay.
I was like,
What do
I
you
was
mean?
like,
You were holding the blue beam on
I'm
like
with
season
I
one.
like this. Blue beam behind him. Carpe, kill him. I was actually I would tell him, Carpe, you don't worry. I look behind us. So I would look behind us the whole time.
You were watching his back.
Yeah, and I would see the kill feed, everyone dying. I'm like, okay, this is great.
I keep hearing myself. I keep stuttering. It's actually.
And
Please be quiet.
All right, so how many teams do you think would not get any wins in Asia? How many teams do you think from North America would be worse than all of the Asian
I would
teams?
think like at least 6 teams would struggle a lot here.
Okay, we
Like
can name
struggle.
some teams. You want to name some teams?
Yeah, I mean, you got to put your money where your mouth is, right? So, like, presumably Washington.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, are they gonna improve?
Are they going to improve? I don't know. I've seen no signs of it so far.
Like they have Janu on stage. Like
Yeah.
I'd say Washington, Toronto, Boston, maybe Vancouver. Vancouver's been getting better though. Maybe Houston and Dallas, but Houston also did kind of shit on Gladiators. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
yeah, but Gladiators has been like a weird team. Like they should be better. Not on paper, and then they win shock, and then they lose games they shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
I mean, they're entertaining though.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
they
mean,
are.
I have fun watching Cloudy. I see that shit in my rank games. Like I play a rank game and I see Massa and Cloudy behind me with like going for shatters. I'm like, what the?
What do you think about the top level? Or what do you think about like the middle level then? Where do you think you guys would fit into the global power rankings? Like if we actually were, if all the teams were combined together right now, if it had been either a normal 2020 or we were all stuck in the Blizzard Arena, for example, where do you think the Guangzhou Charge would be placed? I think you're at 6th right now. Am I wrong? I think
we are 5. We're 5th.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just gonna remember that you placed us top 6 and you got so much flame for it.
Yeah.
Power rankings.
Yeah, I did.
I remember that too.
So you were right.
I mean, I'm right at the moment. You have to keep it up.
At the moment, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think we are a solid top 8 for now. Solid top 8, like around there. Like depends on the day. We haven't been playing that clean. We have been winning, but too many fixes. So I think we're competitive, but we are like one step. We need improvement in order to like be top 3, top 4.
Yeah, we've always been like that, just kind of like the mechanical team. Like especially last year too. Like when I came in, stage 3, stage 4, like our teamwork was some ass, but like we're just better. Like Happy was just better than every other Widow at that time.
Yeah. What do you think the next steps are for Guangzhou for like improving? If you were like trying to really reach that elite level, what's the key?
I think just the team play. Like I feel like the team play, that's the main thing we were struggling at the beginning when I came in, because I wasn't in this team before, and we improved that a lot. But it's still like one of our weaknesses is like we do stuff not together sometimes. I think that's why we pay some fights that we shouldn't lose. Like when we play together, we have so much mechanical skill in our team. Like Eileen, Happy, Nero, like Shu, fucking insane. Like I think everyone in this team is kind of a lot of like good mechanically.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to like coordinating and like doing something together. Like that's something I really like said when I came to his team, I said like, we need to do something together, even if it's stupid. Like, let's just do it. Like, even if it sounds stupid, we need to trust each other and go for those things. And I feel like we have improved on that a lot. But definitely, like, I think we have way more room to improve. That's what I feel. Our ceiling is not. We haven't reached it. I think. I don't know what Nero thinks.
I definitely agree. I think we need to work on our synergy. I feel like we should have synergy by now, but like it's still getting there. Like it's a international roster, like 3 different nationalities, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes, but like we're getting better, like slowly.
What is that like, working with a triple nationality roster in terms of language and also just culturally kind of getting along and understanding each other?
You know, it's weird because me and neptuNo are the only Western players, and Eileen is Chinese, Wea's Chinese. Like, you would think that we should learn Korean because it's like mostly Korean, but like it's the other way. Everyone's learning English, and I don't know. I don't know why.
Because Eileen is Chinese and English is the common language for all of us. So I don't know.
But I would say last season when we like first started playing, like the English level was like
Was
not
shit.
there. Was not there yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like when I came to the team, they didn't know how to make calls in English. Like especially Kron because he never spoke English.
Yeah, he
So
was new, right?
I spent a lot of time with Kron, like explaining to him what he has to say, like stuff like undenying answer or like I'm controlling right side, so he learns what to say, or like I wanna push, and eventually, like I think maybe when I came in, because I'm really vocal, I see them using sentences that I use, like my kind of calling, they copy from me. And I think that kind of is like satisfying to feel like I'm helping them to speak English in game.
They're like babies.
Do they have a Spanish accent when they copy you as well?
Oh no.
They try. They try to copy.
They try. They call me fucking Spanish. Always joking.
That's quite satisfying then, to be able to work on something like that, right?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention that I was actually helping them, but I think one coach told me, "Thank you for speaking out of English. You're helping the team, like because no one before speak that much English in the team, right? Because only Nero, and maybe right now, it feels like when I watch them play right now, it's like they all know what they want to say and they can do it.
It's actually funny listening to them try to communicate because none of them are native English speakers.
Yeah, they're all Koreans speaking English.
Eileen and 5 Koreans trying to speak English together, and it's just it's satisfying, honestly. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've seen their English level just like go up and up and up since like last season, and it's like at a point where it's like pretty good now.
Yeah, I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
What's it like? What's it like? Kind of like integrating with the team and getting the synergy. And I don't know, like it feels like if everyone was just a native English speaker, you'd hang out with each other very regularly because you'd be doing stuff in your free time and just chilling with them, and you'd naturally just discuss kind of strats, and you'd build friendships, and you'd understand kind of how people think, and all of that, I imagine, ends up getting a bit more difficult when there's language barriers in the way, and cultural barriers to some extent as well. But what's your experience been like with that kind of stuff, with like the camaraderie aspect of the teamwork, especially you, Nero, considering that you were, for a fairly decent period of time, the only native English speaker on the team?
I'd say they never made me feel like I was alone necessarily. Like they always kind of included me in stuff if they saw I was like doing my own thing, or like I try to like what's the word? I try to like learn Korean, and I try to teach them English, so it's like always something to talk about. So it's never like I don't know the word for it. I'm blanking. Okay,
I can speak. I mean, I'm the new one, so I was kind of like surprised when I came to the team that they were so family and friendly. Like they're all like always like because of the language barrier. It feels like everything comes down to more simple stuff like just joking around like fuck you or like yeah they're really friendly. They're always like Happy comes to my desk and he just like laughs at me or like he said what the fuck are you doing and like I don't know because we don't have that many things we can say to each other. Then everything becomes like
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
It's kind of like this might sound maybe a bit insulting, but I mean it in the kind of sense. It's like the childish interactions that of like how you build friends when you're young and you don't have great vocabulary. Like you don't build friends when you're a child by saying, "Oh, what did you think of the most recent Dostoevsky novel?" And discussing politics with people. Like you don't do that when you're a kid. You just build natural friendships by interacting with people.
By eating pencils with your friends in class, like.
I mean, maybe you ate pencils with your friends in
I
class.
didn't.
That might be the lead poisoning. That's the reason why.
I didn't know how to say one thing that I have it in Spanish in my brain, but I don't know how to say it. But I can tell you, when your friend is about to sit and you put a pencil and he breaks it when he's sitting.
Yes.
That's how you build friendship.
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck are you saying right now?
Like pranking your friends.
Yeah, pranking, just doing pranks. Like
Yeah. I know what you mean. I just love the idea of the Mercy Main being the one that was eating pencils and getting lead poisoning.
I didn't eat pencils.
He's a brig man now.
I fucked up.
Yeah, the brig main. But you've been learning Korean then, Nero?
I'm not really trying to learn it. Just I kind of like pick up on what they say, and I kind of just copy, like how they copy me when I speak English.
Right.
But it's mostly just cuss words. So
Yeah. That's all I hear.
yeah.
Have you been learning anything that's like conversational that you wowould be able to go out into Korea and use?
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, but I can, but like I always have someone with me, so I never really need to use it.
Right.
Like I normally understand what they're saying, but like when it starts like getting outside of the game and outside of like eating and like going somewhere and like stuff like that, like simple things, I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. I know that Wolf, for example, is fluent in Korean now, but when he first moved over to do casting in Korea, I don't think he spoke a word of it. And I think that the way that he learned was just by kind of throwing himself into it in some extent, like surrounding himself by Korean and just trying to talk as much as he could all the time. And then over the course of the years, he just slowly kind of learned more and more of it to become conversational, which is how a lot of people end up learning if they're in a foreign country, surrounded by it all the time.
I'm not doing that.
You can read a little bit.
It's too hard. I can read a bit, but
I was trying to teach him how to read, but he's fucking lazy.
Hangul is an incredibly simple alphabet, right? Like it's a really well designed system.
Yeah, it's actually I'd say it's actually pretty easy actually compared to English. English has all those words that like are spelled the same, but then you say them differently. And
no, but that's fucking English that you guys are dumb. Why don't you do like Spanish? Spanish is like you write it and you read it the same way every single word.
Yeah, but that's not the same as like Italian and French. You don't do that. Italian and French have different pronunciations. It's only Spanish where you read every single letter.
Yeah, shut up, neptuNo.
Yeah, Spanish is just more advanced, I guess.
Why is English the common language then, neptuNo? Can you explain that?
Because it sounds and it's easier because it's for dumb people like you.
Something that always gets brought up with the Guangzhou Charge, right, is the idea of underrated players. I feel like the league's most underrated players are on the Guangzhou Charge. And I don't know whether this is just because I'm getting paid by Guangzhou to like promote you guys or something. But when I made my power rankings at the beginning of the year, I was super high on the team. And it seemed like no one else in the world was. And I feel like some of that is because...
You were alone.
Yeah, I was alone. Some of that, I think, though, is because the players themselves are kind of underrated. I mean, do you agree that your teammates seem underrated compared to the compared to the competition? Do you think that's an actual problem?
Yes, it's not a problem. It's just like because this, I don't know if it's like the team is not that marketable outside China, and people doesn't really follow this team. But we have huge, insane players and personalities. That's what I feel like. People didn't know how good Kron was. Kron was here for 2 days, and I already knew he was fucking good.
Mm.
Like how fast he learns, like how fast he reacts to push bombs or like anything. I thought Nero was bad, and then I came here. He's actually fucking good. I didn't know he was good, dude. We were playing Pharah Mercy, and he was just killing all the Pharahs. I was starting to think, he might be good, actually.
This guy.
Wow, no confidence even from your own teammates.
Yeah, how was I supposed to know? I thought only Happy was good, and everyone was good.
Yeah, Krong has been kind of nutty as a rookie. I think that he's potentially in like Rookie of the Year kind of candidate if he manages to keep it up. If Guangzhou do really well, maybe if some of these other guys that are ahead of him right now slip off a little bit, like Lip or Alarm or something like that. But I think Krong's up there.
I would say I agree with that too. Though I'd say we don't really have that many Western fans. Like I'd say our marketing on the Western side is like lacking compared to our Chinese marketing. Like our Chinese marketing is insane, and like I feel like hype kind of centers around fans, like making that hype, and we don't really have that many fans to do that.
Yeah, we don't have appreciation posts on Reddit about our players.
Yeah, like Dallas Fuel, I guarantee half of competitive Overwatch is Dallas Fuel players.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And they're all disappointed.
Yeah, that's
For 3 years.
Yeah, they're all on Suicide Watch at the moment.
They're always on Suicide Watch.
Yeah.
They can count our team.
Yeah, you guys.
You can cheer for us, guys.
You're welcoming all the Dallas Fuel fans.
Yeah.
Nice. Shu as well, I feel like, is a real elite level support player that doesn't really get talked about very much.
I don't think he's underrated. I think just people don't care about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone knows he's good. Everyone knows he's insane.
It's kind of like Big Goose and Shaz. Like they're good, but like who cares?
Why? Why doesn't anyone care?
I don't know. Because
no, people just like hype up like people like, for example, instead of Big Goose, I mean Big Goose gets enough recognition actually. But I would say people go way more hype with like IDK or like Moth now. Even Moth wasn't hyped before. Like he started getting hyped now.
Yeah.
Like people do that. Oh, with Fury, they did that with Fury already. I love that. Like everyone thought Fury was just there, and then all of a sudden someone uploads a clip of Fury doing crazy stuff, and everyone already thinks he's the best off tank. In 1 second, they didn't even know who Fury was, and now he's the best off tank for everyone. That's how Reddit works.
Yeah, last season.
And Fury was good the whole season, but they didn't know.
Last season, when you weren't on the team last season, when we played Chengdu in the playoffs, and when I like shit on Jinmu, everyone was like, someone posted on Reddit, and now people just think I'm like a fucking Pharaoh one trick, and it's annoying. It's the Reddit effect. Just.
I mean, everyone thinks I'm a Mercy one trick.
Yeah, but that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck? I don't even play Mercy anymore, dude.
Yeah, your poor hero has been removed from the well, not removed from the rotation. It's just not good anymore, really.
Actually, like, it's weird because when I see people talk about the heroes I play, they always rate my Mercy my best and for example, my Baptiste my worst. And it's funny to me because I feel like right now my Baptiste was getting so good, but who the fuck knows?
You need to post some clips of you fragging on Baptiste to Reddit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's how it works. If you post shit, people follow you, and then it just becomes like a fact.
Just make an alt account and post your clips on there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've called out Reddit, so I think a good way to start closing out the discussion would be for you guys to kind of name who you think are the best on each role, so that you have to put your money where your mouth is. You can't just rely on Reddit clips.
What?
This is true opinions now. All right, so I want to know, like, you can split apart Asia and North America if you like, because it's kind of hard to say both. But who do you think if you had to make like a super team, you know, like one player from each role, who would you?
We can't include ourselves.
Yeah, you can't include anyone from the charge, because I feel like if you did, like, you guys actually seem quite reasonable about it, but most of the time, if you ask players about that, they're like, I would just pick my team. It's like, oh, come on, fuck off. You're not winning the league, are you?
Okay, but I mean, I don't think we should be picking many players from the same team. Just like try to find diversity.
Well, I don't think you need diversity. It's more like, who do you guys really respect? So, like, neptuNo, who do you think is the best player at your role right now? Like, at the main support kind of role.
Start in Asia.
In Asia, I think it's Lijagon.
Even though you were molding about how he does whatever he wants?
Yes, because he's good. Because he can do it.
Mm.
I wasn't mocking him. I was actually complimenting him.
Mm.
My point is, like, he is so talented that he can do all those crazy stuff, and he gets away with it many times.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, he plays smart when he wants. I just feel like he's just having fun.
Yeah.
And he's fun, but he is, in my opinion, the best in the role right now.
What do you think?
Asia?
In Asia, yeah. What do you think, Nero?
About main support?
Yeah.
I mean, what options are there? Yeah, I'd probably say Lijagon too.
Yeah, I guess in Asia it's like Lijagon, Animo, IDK, although Mika was playing a little bit for the Hangzhou Spark recently as well.
I think
Toby.
Okay, Sanguinar on Lucio, he's insane, but I don't know about his other.
Yeah, but
heroes, 'cause I've
Lijagon
never
is
seen
insane
him.
on Brig too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think on the role overall,
Yeah.
I would go Lijagon.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, what about the flex support then?
Iziaki.
Yeah.
You think it's just hands down Iziaki? I saw that I haven't been paying much attention to Iziaki, but then I watched him in the May Melee in the finals where they played against Seoul, and he was slaughtering. He was just like tagging the tracers, sleeping people. He was all over the place. Does he just play like that all the time and I just haven't noticed?
I remember before he got picked up last season, right? Or was it season one?
No, this season he was on Valiant.
Season 1, actually.
He got picked last season.
No, he got picked up in season 1 by Valiant, but they had visa issues, so they couldn't play him in season 1.
Oh.
I remember people saying that he was like the next Jonak because his aim was just insane.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Honestly, he's insane.
He's good. I think right now he's.
It's
we're gonna
annoying.
pick the entire Shanghai Dragons. Yeah.
It's annoying playing versus him, especially when you're playing like Tracer or something, because he just fucking double dinks your ass every time. It's just, what do you do?
Yeah.
OP hero.
You think he's better than Jonak this year? Like, you find him more oppressive to play against than...
Yeah, for sure. Maybe not on Ana, but definitely on Zen. Definitely on Zen. Iziaki's definitely better right now.
It's hard to say because also I think Shanghai is a better team, but
yeah.
So
that's true, but that's partly because of Jonak, because they like have to play around him. Have you seen?
I mean, do you know if it's even Jonak's fault? Like they have to play around him, or is this like?
No, like you can watch his stream, and you can just tell. Like he's like, "Oh, I'm going in, puck me," and he walks in first as like Ana or something, and his entire team just like peels for him. Like that's that's how he plays.
Let's just not think about playstyle. Just like pure mechanic. Is Ayaki better than Jonak? I mean, they're both insane. I don't know.
I
don't
say
care.
it's hard to say.
I would be happy with one of those in my team.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I didn't mean that.
All right. What about the tank lines then? What about
in our super team?
Yeah, I know what you mean. What about main tank?
So we have Fearless. Oh, Winston.
Fearless, Gesture. Then you've got Mano, I suppose. And
Gushui.
Yeah.
Actually, Gushui.
Yeah, and Amon. and
Anyone
J-Mac.
Wrecking Ball. I think to make some diversity, Guangzhou, so we don't have everyone from Shanghai.
Guangzhou's been playing really well so far this year, I think, and just like in general, he's super well rounded.
I'd say Guangzhou or
Fearless.
Mono. Guangzhou or Mono.
Mm.
I feel like Fearless, he's like a top level Winston, but I've never seen his other heroes. Like I've only seen.
Yeah, I was looking up his stats a while back, and I think he had played like at the point when I looked up his stats, he'd played 3.5 hours of Winston, and he played 40 minutes of Orisa and like 30 minutes of Rhine. So he mostly plays Winston.
Yeah, I'd say Mono for sure. Mono plays like every tank at like a high level.
Yeah, I go with Guangzhou.
What about the off tank then?
Void.
I'm not picking Shanghai.
Well, even though you think the Void is even though you think Void's the best, you're just gonna deny him this role on your super team because you're sick of picking Shanghai.
Yeah,
It's not
Shanghai.
a super team.
We already have 2 Shanghais. We don't need more.
Yeah, that's too sucked.
Are we? Bernard?
Line.
I think Bernard. Bernard on Sigma. He's crazy on Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not picking Hoppa because Hoppa ex-teammate.
Yeah, true.
Bias. I'd say Bernard. Bernard is insane. But people don't give him enough credit.
What about DPS then? Because I feel like DPS is maybe the one area where you've got the most flexibility to choose people other than Shanghai.
What do you even pick? You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
There's so many good DPSs right now.
Yeah, I would pick Godsby as hit scan and okay, you pick flex support or flex CPS.
Haxel.
Okay, Haxel.
Yeah.
Looks solid.
Yeah.
That's a solid.
I mean, you can just make so many DPS lineups.
Yeah, whatever. It's gonna work.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. All right, what do you think about North America then? I mean, is it the same kind of thing where you would struggle to pick players that aren't on the shock, or do you think that there's like more talent spread out in that region?
I feel like shock, even though they're so strong, I think there are positions where like I don't think that they have the strongest player. Like main support, I think Fanny Astro is better.
Really?
Like, I think mechanic maybe. I don't know how much impact Moth has inside the team, but I would say like mechanically, if I had to build a team, that super team, I would say right now Fanny Astro has been so far. I don't know if you agree. Like Moth is good, but
I'd say FD God.
Oh, FD God, he's also fucking insane. Actually, I think Fanny Astro or FD God, you go with one of those two.
Are we saying just pure mechanical skill, or like?
I mean, you're building a super team, so I guess we.
I know,
go
but
with...
someone's got to keep the super team in check. You know, like Moth's that kind of like, cool-headed kind of guy.
Do you think FD God's good enough at his other roles outside of Lucio?
I've never seen his Mercy, but I know his break's good.
I saw his Mercy on the practice one day, and he was quite decent. You could tell he didn't play Mercy that much, but I saw him playing on a match, and he had improved a lot. So I think he's quite good. He's talented, so you can tell by the way he plays Lucio that he has like so much like mechanics.
Yeah.
Like the way he wall rise, I don't think I don't think no other Lucio wall rise like him, like FD God.
Yeah, like a crackhead.
He's the only Lucio that I actually watched the VOD to see how he wall rise. The only one.
I want to say Moth, but I don't want to say previous teammates. So FD God. I'd say FD God.
Previous teammates?
You were teaming with Moth?
Yeah, it was me, Moth, and Shoot on Toronto Esports.
Moth played on Toronto Esports. I didn't even realize that he did.
You know, he was on Boston Academy, but then Boston let him go. Imagine how stupid they feel. they let me, Shoot, and Moth go.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Yeah, but don't worry, they have Jerry now. Everyone loves Jerry.
Jerry.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a debate around that, but what about the other roles? What about flex support then? We had Izzyaki over in Asia, Who's the Izayaki of North America right now?
You can either go Alarm or Violet.
I'm gonna do a sleeper pick. I'm gonna say Lastro.
Oh,
Lastro.
last is good. Yeah, let's go with super, like more a rookie team. You know, I mean, Alarm is rookie too.
Alarm
but
is a
Lastro
rookie as well.
Yeah, but Lastro is not as famous as Alarm.
True.
When both came to like.
Alarm's played in like Apex and shit. Lastro's just
Yeah.
contenders.
Yeah.
Alarm is like the mainstream pick. Let's go with the. You know.
That's true. That's true.
FD God and Lastro. Okay.
Yeah,
FD got on Lastro. Jesus Christ. This is a weird attempt at a super team that you're building over here, guys.
We're gonna win it all.
Okay. All right. Listen, I believe you. What about the tank line then?
Okay, let's start main tank. I would say it kind of depends what you want, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna pick anyone other than Chalk, of course. You know.
I will go with super, dude.
I mean, yeah, probably
Yeah,
super.
super. Like super just rolls in your face with Reinhardt, and you can't do anything about it.
What about Orisa?
I think super Orisa is also good.
Oh yeah, he played in World Cup. Okay, I'll take
Yeah.
it. I'll take it.
I was always surprised a little bit actually that Super doesn't get more opportunity to play as Orisa in games because it's not bad, you know. Like maybe Smurfs is a bit better, but it's not bad.
I don't really get it either.
I think people meme a lot with Super being rank 1 tick, but he's good at the other heroes too.
Yeah, his Winston's pretty sicko as well. What about the off tank? So you said you didn't want to pick Void and you ended up going for Bernard in Asia. What are we doing? Are we going with the default pick of like a Choyobin or somebody? A Choyobin or a Fury, I guess? Those would be like the classic picks.
Let's go with Poco.
I gotta look. Wait.
Poco.
We didn't pick anyone from Mayhem yet. I think Gargoyle.
Oh yeah.
I know, that's what I'm looking for right now.
Gargoyle fucking.
I'd say Gargoyle or Space.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
I'd say Space. Space is my boy. Space is a god.
I go with Gargoyle because I don't know.
Okay, Gargoyle, Space, or Hanbin. One of those three.
Hanbin's been pretty good as well.
I'm going with Space.
All right, what about the DPS line? You have infinite things to pick from again here for the DPS line.
You have to pick Carpe.
I'm not picking fucking Carpe. I'm picking. I'm gonna pick an Ans, however you say his name.
Oh yeah, Ans.
Ans and Flex DPS. Who's a Flex DPS? Oh, Yaki. I'm picking Yaki. Yaki and Ans.
Okay. All right. That's a pretty sick team, honestly. That's a very if you've picked 5 rookies plus super for this team, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether you realize that the Rookie of the Year contest this year is absolutely bonkers. It's truly ridiculous. There's so many good rookies.
Who would win though? An A team or our Asian team?
I mean, I feel like the Asian team would slap him around, honestly.
Wait, who's on the Asian team?
There is Sayaki Lijagon, like.
Oh yeah, just okay. Yeah, DJ Gonson just 1v6.
Yeah. I mean, Lijagon versus FDGO, that's a good matchup to watch.
Yeah. Yeah,
no
sure.
shirt.
I mean, it would be a lot of fun anyway. I wanted to ask you, Nero, just because you mentioned Super playing in the World Cup recently there. Do you took a break and decided not to play in the World Cup last year? And the North American team, I mean, it's not a guarantee that you would have been playing on the team, I suppose, at least from the outside. But it seemed likely, given your position, that you were like a rising star with such amazing flexibility and North American player. Do you regret at all not going for the World Cup after seeing them hoist the trophy?
I mean, I think if I made the team, I would have been like on the bench, honestly, because I think Corey and Sinatra were definitely better than me in that meta than Doomfist Reaper.
Sure.
I think they were just the best in slot, so I don't really regret it. And I think taking a break at that time was really important too, because we had played for however many stages in a row, and it was just getting annoying.
Yeah. And now Sinatra and Corey are no longer with us. They've passed on to play Sage, like I know that neptuNo's been doing as well. It's tweeting about just spamming Sage and Cypher in ranked.
It's a mercy main in every game.
Yeah.
I haven't played Sage a single game. I only play Viper and Cypher.
Nice. Okay, making it tough for yourself playing Viper.
No, I'm insane on Viper, so I know all the smokes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're nuts. Well, this is if you don't know, people at home, this is the former best 1.6 Spanish player, right?
Okay, so with 14 years old, I won every tournament in Spain in Counter-Strike 1.6. That was 14 years ago. I'm 28 now. And for 2 years, I won every tournament. And I went to majors. So yeah, that my aim is good, dude. Trust me.
Why do you play Mercy then?
Because someone has to heal your fucking ass.
Oh man.
Someone has to do the job. I don't care.
Yeah. The only thing I really want to ask you guys before we leave then is like what's life like at the moment in Korea? Korea's got a much more chill policy, I think, right now in terms of how not chill, but they were so aggressive at countering COVID that things have now calmed down and they're starting to open up. The case numbers are higher here in LA than they've ever been. They just continue to rise. But in Korea, things are opening back up, right? I mean, I'm not there, but what's the situation? What are you doing? Yeah, things were closed at some point in Korea, I think.
I've never seen anything closed. Oh.
No, a lot of shit was closed, like right when we got here, in like January, February, March. But then like stuff started opening like recently, and like I've been able to like go out and actually like do things. But you can't do that in America. I feel like Korea definitely handled it better. Like people actually didn't go outside when you get notifications on your phone like saying it's dangerous, don't go outside. But then people in America just fucking do whatever they want.
It's also like, how do you get into Korea? You can only come by plane, right? Or like boats?
Who the fuck is taking a boat to Korea? Yeah, of course.
My point is like in Europe, for example, you can drive around countries.
Right.
But here
yes.
You can't go in driving, right? That's my point.
Okay.
You can swim.
Right. But
you can swim here.
What's it like at the moment then? Because a lot of people watching, I think, will be just kind of very unaware of what Korean life is like. Like, does it feel just normal? Are you just kind of chilling, going out, doing your own stuff? Is life back to just like you were in like 2 years ago in Contenders, where you just turn up, play your online games, and then you do whatever you want outside?
I mean, I went out last night, and like it's like a Sunday night or whatever, and there's still like a shit ton of people. There's still so many people out, but like obviously people are still taking precautions, like wearing masks and stuff. But I'd say it's not at the same level as America is right now. So I'd say it's like it's settling down here.
Yeah.
It's not in a good spot, but like a better, like a decent spot.
Are you enjoying your time in Korea?
Yeah, right now, yeah, I am, because I can actually go outside. But like right when we got here, like we could just only stay and play and scrim, and it was not fun. It was really not fun. This dude eats fucking noodles every night in my room, and it stinks.
I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, you eat them here.
Yeah. Dude, like I'm hungry, so I ate. You wanna go buy something now?
All right, I'm gonna get you to predict the next matches for the Guangzhou Charge, and then I'm gonna leave you. So I'll leave you to go and buy some noodles and eat them, like something out of what's the movie? The Lady and the Tramp. You ever seen that Disney movie where they're eating the noodles and it's just one long noodle?
What's the fuck?
Yeah, this guy's one of the dogs.
Yeah. So you guys are playing against Chengdu, and then you're playing against New York, and then I mean, eventually you're going to be going on to the Summer Showdown. What's the aspirations for the Summer Showdown?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think we'll beat Chengdu, but I'm not sure about New York. It kind of depends how they play and they improve this week. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been watching scrims much because I still need to get like my mechanics up, like playing ranked and stuff. So I think New York's 50-50, Chengdu's
70.
80-20.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how deep do you guys reckon the Guangzhou Charge can get in the Summer Showdown? What are you aiming for?
It depends who we play first. If we play Shanghai, we just like, go next. I'm joking.
We have to try.
No, if we go 4-0, we can't play Shanghai first. I'm pretty sure because
Yeah,
I think they're gonna go 4-0. I bet they're gonna go 4-0. And if we go 4-0,
yeah, you would. I think the way that it works is that they get a pass into the. It's like, I mean, you got the first seed last time in the main melee, and it works the exact same way. So they get a buy into the semifinals, and you.
Yeah,
would...
but last time there was only us were 4-0. Everyone else was 3-1 or.
If both of you go 4-0, they'll get the higher seed because they have the higher overall record.
Oh, that's stupid.
So, but you still won't play them. You would still have to meet them in the semis or maybe the grand finals. But yeah, that's the way it would work.
Okay, I think if we play Chengdu or Hangzhou or London, I think that's a good first game for us. But if we play New York first, it's kind of rough because who knows?
It depends on the what the fuck is meta like.
There's no hero ban. You already know what it's gonna be. Can we even say it?
No.
Okay, unlucky. I mean, it's kind of obvious. I bet you can guess. I'll say yes if you guess it right.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Don't say it. Like.
I mean, I would assume that it's just the same or very similar to the previous meta when it was the main melee.
I don't even remember.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, just tight-lipped. Okay, well, that will be an interesting surprise for all of us then, figuring out what's going on in the next couple of weeks with all of you guys. But anyway, we'll get a look at the meta because the next week, in week 21, is actually open hero pools as well. The week before the Summer Showdown, so we'll have an opportunity to see how good everybody is in the week leading up to it. Good luck in those games, though, and thank you very much for joining me and doing a little impromptu interview just to break the boredom of quarantine as you're all sat around there. What time is it for you guys now?
4 a.m.
4 a.m. We're going to bed now.
4 a.m. Jesus Christ. Well, thanks for staying up and talking to me.
We usually fall asleep around 4:30 because we wake up at 12. So to keep up a schedule like 4 matches.
Yeah.
Sometimes we play at like 8 or 9, so we wanna have like wake up at 12 every day.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much and enjoy your games. I'm sure I'll catch up with you at some other point, but good luck until then. Keep grinding in ranked, and you'll get scrim time eventually.
I'm gonna grind my aim for Murphy.
Yeah, go grind your aim for Batiste.
Yeah, go grind your brig aim.
My Batiste is nasty.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.